Joining us now to discuss the current situation in Gaza is Israeli diplomat and former Israeli ambassador to the United States, Danny Ayalon. Ambassador, thank you so much for joining us today. Pleasure to have you on as always. I'd like to start by asking you, what do we know so far about Israel's willingness to make a partial deal? I mean, we heard the prime minister reject it, many hostage families as well. But if Hamas isn't willing to end the war, I mean, what are Israel's options here?
Well, there are two, basically. One that is the preferred one, which is a one comprehensive deal. I think this would be the right thing to do. This would be the just thing to do. And it will put an end to the misery and really the terrible situation of the hostages and, of course, the plight of their families. Indeed, Emily, the entire Israeli society, everyone, we are our brother's keepers. On the other hand, is that if this is not within reach, then what Witkoff's rationale was that to get as many as we can, and that would be a half of them. But, of course, the other side of the equation is what will Israel need to cede. And here, I don't see much of a let's say, of a leeway, because the positions the IDF is in now, is necessary. I believe that also the demands that the Hamas will be disarmed is also something that has to be discussed and has to be agreed, let alone, of course, a new regime in Gaza, which will not be Hamas.
Now, as these hostage talks are ongoing, we've also seen an expansion in the Gaza Up, as you mentioned, and a massive call-up of reservists. How will this takeover of Gaza City impact the negotiations, and will it even matter in the big picture of the threat, given that the Islamic Republic, the primary funder of Hamas itself, continues to exist?
Yes, I would say that we already see the impact in the sense that Hamas was willing at least to come back to the table. Just three and a half weeks ago, they just walked out. They put their own demands, almost like an ultimatum, as if they have all the cards. Well, they do have the hostages, which for us are very, very dear. But at the other hand, they have to think about the people of Gaza. Obviously, they don't have much regard to them, actually using them as pawns, using them as a buffer or even as a human shield. But taking out Gaza will put additional pressure on Hamas. Maybe even the people of Gaza will put more pressure on Hamas, which is the only way for them to really acquiesce. And at the same time, not less important is the political pressure, especially put by Qatar and Egypt. And I think that the combination of this should bear results and yields.
Now, you're a very seasoned diplomat. I have to ask, I mean, where is the international pressure on Hamas? I mean, why is the focus even of our broadcast today on convincing a terror group, Hamas, to end the war, instead of global outrage at the fact that civilians are being held hostage, tortured for over 680 days? I mean, is anything being done on this front internationally?
This is a very good question, and this speaks volume about the character of the international community, where we see the arrogance, where they accuse Israel without really regard to the facts on the ground. We see how the duplicitous behavior, the fact that they in a way, support a terror, like a murderous terror organization like Hamas, is really despicable and outrageous. And not only that they do not speak out about the release of the hostages. That should have been first priority, and the demand that would pressure Hamas every day. And not only they don't do that, they are thinking of basically recognizing a Palestinian state, something that has never, of course, been in existence in history. And they don't understand, or maybe they do, that by recognizing a Palestinian state, not only they reward terrorism, Hamas will become a real hero in the Palestinian society, which could even replace the supposedly more moderate forces of the Palestinian Authority. But what would there be to negotiate about? If they really want to have a political solution to the Palestinian problem, they should allow a negotiation without preconditions. If the Palestinians already know that they have a state, what would there be to negotiate about? So they are really actually all those countries, first and foremost France, but many others, what they do actually is contrarian to, let's say, their own goal, if it is really a Palestinian state, and not just to discomfort Israel and to hurt Israel.
Absolutely. I think it's very damaging what we're seeing going on, not just for the Israeli side, but also for the Palestinians who are living under a terrorist organization, Hamas. We are unfortunately out of time, but I want to thank you, Ambassador Danny Ayalon, for joining us today.
My pleasure, Emily.